And here as well. All right. See if people have come in. Yo, what's going on, Niowa? Thanks for coming in. Let some people come in. We shall begin, folks. We'll go straight to it. Should be interesting to see how this goes. Analyzing the manga of Minato.
The Minato picture is sick.
Yeah, definitely dope. And there's definitely some interesting things that have sprouted out of the manga, if you will. So if the translations are accurate, then there's some new scaling for Minato indeed. So wait a couple minutes, folks, and we shall begin. Finally here for the start of one of these. Yeah, this is going to be a good one for sure, because we're going over some of the manga panels that have been out, famous panels that are already being redisplayed throughout social media, throughout the anime fandom. So it's going to be interesting to take a look at that. Bleach episode is fire. JJK episode is fire.
18th, I believe, or is it sooner than that? I always forget the actual release date.
17th, I think.
Okay.
Either 17th or 18th for sure, though.
Next week, nonetheless. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. A 16-year-old Minato compared to Hashirama already. Yep, we're certainly going to get to that now.
Oh, Lord.
So, I think that is all time we'll give. We'll begin now. And for you guys that don't know, certain somebody's back in here. So we have Batman making his return in this stream.
Yo, what's good, guys?
He has returned.
Yes, sir.
Apologize for everything, guys. Had a lot of shit going on, so.
Yeah, we had to give him his time for sure. Can't wait for Swag's video on Minato, as I said, he's working on. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make a video as well. 16-year-old Minato above Edo Mater. Yeah. Alright, folks, we're not wasting more time. Let's get straight to it. Yeah, we're talking about spoilers already. Yeah, you're just in time. We're about to start that. So.
Alright.
We're going to go down the most relevant panels that I saw, and we're going to analyze them. So I'll show them on the screen. Give me a second. We're going through each one by one, giving our interpretations and the most likely conclusion you can come to. So give me a second, folks, while I pull that up. We'll go one by one on these. Me and Batman will discuss this. I think Shinobi's he wants to read it when it first comes out officially. So where is it at? Give me a second here, folks. So the first panel, I'm going to show it here for you guys to see.
It's really crazy. It's interesting.
Is this one here. I don't know if you guys could read it. Let me read it over here first. I could see it better myself from here.
Pull up your thing too.
So you guys could see. Yeah, so this is between a dialogue between Kushina and Minato. This is where a lot of this dialogue gives us some of the scaling. The truth is, the reason I broke a promise to you was to master the technique you saw as soon as possible, because I created a technique for the sake of protecting you. Do you mean we're at war right now? Let me read it even more carefully. We don't know when they'll pull up in the battlefield to fight Telbeast. You're the trump card for Jinchuriki warfare. So people will probably say, oh, is Kushina stronger than Minato here because he's saying that she is a trump card? What I'll say is that it's certainly an interpretative possibility. But I think as the narrative goes on in these, according to the spoilers, that's not obviously absolute. But she's clearly more powerful than we anticipated, I'd say, if she is a trump card for the war against other Jinchuriki. I'll say that.
Yeah, she's a Telbeast weapon, panel here. You know, like.
Yeah, she's a weapon. Obviously, she has the ability to seal. On top of that, I wouldn't go as far as to say that she's superior to Minato, though.
No,
she's literally saying that. He's literally saying that he's making a technique to protect her. So that kind of implies superiority over her to some extent, right? So the sort of claim that Kushina is stronger than he is kind of contradicted by his statement itself. So we'll go on to the next one. I kind of just wanted to bring that up because I know people are going to say that. We go to the next scan. I believe this one's the next relevant one. Here, I'm pointing. Let me bring out two actually, because these work hand in hand. So it's this one, and then right after that, we see a separate panel where Minato gets hit. Give me a second here, folks, while I pull it up. By the way, obviously spoiler alerts, of course.
Yep, heavy ones.
Yeah, heavy ones for sure.
But worth it. It's really good. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. Definitely worth it. So we have these panels here. Right, we have her going into Telbeast mode, Minato obviously aware of that, and this next panel he's getting hit by her. People argue whether or not he was caught off guard or not. So I'll say this: he wasn't completely caught off guard, but in the very physical position he's in, he's not in a defense stance, I'd say. He's sort of checking on her well-being. He's saying, "What's wrong, Kushina?" He's bending over. It's not like he's bracing for an attack or of any
Yeah,
such
like
sort
he's
of
not in any fighting
in any such a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, so maybe he did get blissed to some extent, but this isn't him in a defense stance or in all.
Yeah.
He's not in a battle mode. So I would say he's getting hit here.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't react in time in this instance, but this isn't like the same sort of context as him against the Red Kage. That's not what's happening here.
Furthermore, Jay, like when we eventually get deeper, when you're going to show all this stuff, it just eventually contradicts this line of bullshit too.
Exactly.
Because he does things that are way over this. You know what I mean? To where it blatantly proves that this was technically an off guard moment to a degree. Not really, because he can see, like you said, he technically did get speed blitz here, but he wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready. If he was like in battle stance, ready to blow, that more than likely would not have happened. So
exactly. So like comparing this to like Kakuzu getting hit by the Russian Shuriken would be like a false equivalency, because he was in a battle mode. He was in an altercation with Naruto, Kakashi, and Yamato. Here, this is Minato checking on his wife, or
someone he's in love with. Worried about.
He's not ready to attack or ward off an attack. Maybe that was on his mind. It's like a possibility, but it wasn't exactly implied.
We know how mental nerves work too, Jay. You know, there's that. Like,
exactly.
So if he's not mentally focused, like look at when he was had infant Naruto in his arms, and everything's going on, and then a splinter pierces him. Like that's when he's like in stressful situations. Shit like this can happen. You know what I mean? So
exactly. So what's going on, YCA Prodigy? Thanks for coming in once again as always. And what's going on? Oh, now Togurama Dick Riders are mauling right now.
Oh yeah, they're pissed.
Oh yeah, they definitely are, man. That's for sure.
They're pissed.
So yeah, I've heard the argument from certain people that he's slower than like V1 Kushina. No, I think that's intuitive dishonesty. That's intuitive dishonesty, I'd say.
All that's gonna get debunked, guys. We're gonna be showing that.
So the context of this scenario implies that he certainly has his guard down. Yeah, he's aware of the tailed beast mode, obviously, but he's checking on a loved one. This isn't fucking Kakuzu fighting Naruto. Not even close. The context is clearly different. Yeah. I would admit he got blissed to some extent, but not in a defense position. I mean, he's literally bending over, checking on him. So
he only got blitzed in the sense of not being ready to react or anything, basically accordingly. So in that sense, he clearly can't do anything. But if he was alert, battle ready, you know, just like what Jay said, explain with the Kakuzu and Naruto shit, this would not be fucking happening. So.
Exactly. And folks, by the way, Super Chats will stop us in our tracks, members only as well. We'll answer your questions. So if you want anything, sort of answered right away, feel free to do that. It's greatly appreciated, by the way. But going on to the next one. So we just kind of want to talk on that because I've heard guys trying to make intuitively dishonest arguments about him being slower than V1 Kushina.
And that's always the problem, Jay. They'll fixate on this crap, but then they'll ignore all the other shit that's in this manga series that just came out that contradicts these claims and outlandish dishonesty, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just intuitive dishonesty. It's very clear, and like, come on, man.
Yeah, their intuition is misguided, it seems like, for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. So here we see the next set of events take place. So there's this scan. Let me get the other one out as well. We have this one as well. What are we on here? This one. We see him get stabbed by V2, I believe. So here, he sees her progressing to a new state. Kushina, get a hold of yourself. He's holding her. Doesn't really seem like a defense position to me still. It's not like he's preparing to get hit or anything. He's literally grabbing her and sealing it, right? So he's kind of in his mind, I'm sure he's aware of the possibility of getting hit again. But in his mind, he's like, okay, I have to sort of lower this power now, despite what might happen to me. In a way, he's kind of sacrificing himself for that, right? So he's strengthening the seal, and then this is where we get the famous, I would say the most famously posted spoiler to date for Minato, where the Nine-Tail says, a shinobi of the caliber of the first Hokage, Hashirama. There are others like him, like he's shocked by that. So I'm gonna try to be as objective as possible here with what's going on. So before this statement, he says he's enhancing the four-tail symbol seal with his own technique, right? And then he goes on to say this. Minato, you could argue, yeah, he's talking about the ability to seal, but Six actually made good observation. Shout out to Six, where Hashirama is not known for his sealing. In fact, it's his wife who seals away the nine tails, not Hashirama. Hashirama is known for his great power, for sedating tailed beasts, not necessarily sealing them. So the argument that this is a comparison of sealing ability is not the best argument to make, because like Six said, shout out to him again, because this is not my argument. He's not known for sealing. That's not known. That's not what Hashirama is known for. So
yeah, if anything, when you go back
that. So
to,
as far as what what's specifically being emphasized by Kurama here is maybe the ability to use his chakra to seal in the way he has. Yes, he's comparing the ability of his abilities to Hashirama. Now, am I going as far as to say he's equal in ability and could beat Hashirama or contend with him like Madara? I don't know about that, but this at least establishes relativity in a certain way to Hashirama.
Like
there is.
Yeah, like what's really crazy on that, Jay, is because he, like, out of all people that are saying this, it's a credible source as well. It's the Nine Tails himself, and he's been bitched by Madara and Hashirama all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Whether Madara's with Sharingan or it's Hashirama with his wood style to suppress him and then use like that one suppression seal with his hand to put him to sleep and shit. You know? What's it called? So like, no matter what, like, that's the stuff he's always is getting bodied by or dealt with, you know, or they could even fight him if they really wanted to go blow for blow. But like either way, that's what he's basically comparing in a nutshell, where Minato, like he says, a shinobi of this caliber of the first Hokage, Hashirama, there are others like him still around. So it's directly comparing to him. It's directly talking about caliber. If we analyze the definition of caliber, it's literally establishing similar scaling from him to Hashirama. And obviously the gray area is like, okay, what in particular they're talking about? Is it like direct scaling, or is it just ninjutsu and abilities? More than likely, probably ninjutsu and abilities. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to know, obviously, because we don't, you know, like, let's be real, we only have that type of stuff in feats like with Madara and Hashirama alone. Even though technically we do see Minato get like to the battlefield first, if you want to kind of count that. It's like there's ways you can try to, you know, connect it to where, like you were saying, maybe he does have some form of relativity to someone like Hashirama or Madara or whatever, you know. But overall, it's nothing even outlandish either, because when we even see what he does in the war, you know, it can kind of further collaborate with this, and that's when he's like, you know, way even more stronger technically, because this is teen Minato. Exactly. That's the biggest thing. This is teen fucking Minato.
This is like basically kid teen Minato. Yeah. And Kurama's making these kind of statements. He doesn't say this lightly. The only time we ever see him give this kind of credit was like Sasuke when, well, he didn't say he was on this caliber of Madara, but he said he looks like Sasuke. Kind of reminds him of Sasuke. This, he's saying he is the caliber of the first Hokage. Yeah. That's a strong statement. And some people, certain people, well, first of all, shout out, what's going on? Krema, thanks for coming in. YC Prodigy, according to the Nine Tails Team Minato. Yep. Do we already have knowledge on how strong Team Minato is based on the leaks? Yep, we do to some extent. So, some people make the argument that Hashirama saying Itachi is greater than him is equivocal to Kurama saying this about Minato and the first Hokage. That is a false equivalency, most definitely, because the context behind these statements are far different. When Hashirama says this, there is no first of all, there's no battle taking place. This is Sasuke and Hashirama conversing about shinobi history, and Hashirama hears about Itachi's story and the nobility. Then he goes on to say it. So what's the most likely sort of premise behind that statement? He's saying that Itachi's nobility, virtuousness, and character is even beyond his own. Sacrificing himself, literally sacrificing his life for Sasuke, doing what he did with the reanimation jutsu, etc. That's what he meant when he said he's greater than I. That's the most likely interpretation by far. It's not even close.
Yeah, it's now talking about politics,
this
morality.
Is a literal altercation. Yeah, this is a literal altercation here that's taking place. Kurama's attempting to break out of Kushina's chains and sealing, and Minato is combating that. And Kurama goes out of his way to say, "Wow, this guy he's on the caliber of Hashirama. I didn't think those sort of entities existed anymore." You know, so this implies that he's equivalent or relative in a battle sense, not a character
Yeah.
sense. It's very blatant
Yeah,
here.
and
So
if
to
you
try and compare those two things it's false. It's intuitively dishonest and a false equivalency.
Yeah, and
for
and
sure.
obviously anyone that hates Minato or wants to downplay or don't like or to try to get still Tobirama over or whatever yada yada, they're not going to accept that. They're going to try to attack it in that line of reasoning. But once again, the reason why that doesn't work, I even pulled up the definition. It says the quality of someone's character or the level of their ability. So if we look at the scan, are we talking about character here, or are we talking about the level of his ability? Well, when we see what he's doing with the ceiling and everything, blah, blah, it's clearly talking about his level of ability in comparison to Hashirama, meaning his scaling and ability level of his ninjutsu, ceiling, you name it, is on a similar capacity to Hashirama. We're not going to sit here and say maybe equal, maybe it's either relative or equal, but bottom line is that is crazy. It is blatantly talking about ability, and there's even another scene we're going to see that further establishes that notion.
So. Yeah, exactly. And essentially the premise of relativity between Minato and Hashirama now exists. It's a probable, I can almost go as far as to say a probable conclusion is that they're relative in some battle aspect because of this statement by Kurama. It can, as far as the aspect exactly, sure that's arbitrary. You could argue what exactly Kurama is referencing to, but the premise exists now because of this manga being released. Imagine if the official translation somehow fucked this up. Yeah, if the official translation is completely different, then we're gonna have to retract a bunch of shit.
Yes.
I mean, I'm man enough to admit that this isn't Viz. This is a translated. To be fair,
always be transparent, and we'll keep it a buck. We're not gonna pull no Tobirama or Kakashi bullshit. So
for sure, if it's like completely opposite, like this is a complete misrepresentation of the original Japanese manga, then of course we're gonna go out of the way to say we were incorrect. So, but yeah, another statement right below this here is where Kurama asks, why does a shinobi like you want to be involved with her? He goes on to say it's because I like strong people, especially those stronger than me. Now, some would argue, oh, so Kushina's stronger than Minato then, right? Well, I would say this. The possibility of Kushina becoming V2, full power, full nine tails, maybe is stronger than Teen Minato. I wouldn't think that's a crazy thing to say. This is the full nine tails inside of her. This isn't half.
Yeah.
And if theoretically it completely manifests, Minato might have a tough time. He's a teenager.
Look what happened to Orochimaru to Four Tails alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Look what Four Tails did to
That's
Orochimaru.
half. That was the half the fucking power.
Yeah,
you know?
That's half of the nine tails with only 4 tails.
Yeah.
They beat the fuck out of him. So I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
Tobirama, where they had like Kool-Aid baby nine tails juice. You know what I mean? Look at that. How much it was a problem for him. You know, like
it's also implied that Jinchurikis are greater than the tailed beasts alone. So I don't think that's a crazy statement. And just because she fully manifests as stronger than Teen Minato, that doesn't take away from the ability that he possesses.
Yeah.
So,
and there's another thing too, Jay, to analyze that as well. Or technically, it could be as a comparison for her being able to channel the Nine Tails power compared to Minato and whatnot. Because technically, she is stronger than him in that sense because of how much willpower she has to suppress the Nine Tails, chakra control, etc. Blah blah. That is, you know, extremely impressive, and only she has that capacity to do it, not him. You know what I mean? So if anything, he could be saying that she is stronger in that particular sense of being able to like retain this burden that she has, something only she can be able to do. Which meaning she would be stronger than him in a sense, because if somebody was to put the Nine Tails in him, he's fucked probably. You know what I mean? Like and shit like that. You know, he's not. So it's you have that too, but.
Yeah, that's certainly an interpretive possibility as well. You might just mean as far as the Nine Tails containment. I mean, clearly she's an Uzumaki. So to say that he's complete fodder and that he's weaker than this iteration of Kushina, that's a little bit...
The first Okage's wife was even the same situation, you know what I mean? Had the Nine Tails and shit, you know what I mean? So that's Hashirama.
So analyzing these, people try to make some very intuitively dishonest arguments. We just gave some very very possible and valid interpretations of what could be taking place here. So moving on to the next scans. Let's see here. Which one did we just do? We did that one. We did this one. Now this one here.
And once again, guys, let's also not forget all the stuff Minato has done, you know, as a Jonin and then fourth Hokage and then in the war arc. You know what I mean? This is Teen Minato. And he's way more stronger throughout in those more in time in those versions. So this, like, if you connect all of those dots, he's no fucking joke. You know what I mean? So there's no way to be saying like now Minato is less than Kushina or all this other blah yada yada, or just to be blatantly dishonest and use sophist tactics and misconstrue the narrative,
And just to quickly go over this again, he's getting hit by Kushina here. He is attempting to seal the Ninetales. He isn't trying to battle Kushina.
Yeah,
so it's
not trying to kill her
for battle.
Yeah,
he's not definitely not trying to kill her. He's willing to sacrifice himself. Clearly,
Yep.
He's hits multiple times without getting in a defense position. He's clearly not trying to battle Kushina by any means. I mean, it's his future wife. He's willing to get hurt in the process of saving her from herself, or more specifically Kurama. So, yeah, we just want to clear that up. That's why I brought that up. Some certain people are saying, "Oh, he's fucking fodder. Look at him." Like, dude, come on. Look at the context. Look at what's happening. So, next up. By the way, folks, feel free to ask questions though. Any questions about the manga here, if you want. I'm checking the chat as well while we do this.
Appreciate you, YCA Prodigy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate that. So there's that. Moving on to the next scans. If you guys have any contention, by the way, let us know, folks.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Yeah. There's definitely several interpretations to be had with some of this stuff. Where were we here? So this one, I mean,
like we're gonna be seeing there's gonna be there's two feats that Minato has, to where it kind of just makes all this dishonesty, negative interpretations kind of go out the window. So we will be showing that, by the way, too. So
yeah. So next up we have probably the second most famous panel after the Kurama statement currently in social media. Make it smaller. It's fucking huge. You guys can see it. So we have this one. This one comes first. Give me a second here, folks. Moving the wrong thing. So we have.
That's another
Minato.
thing, Jay. Real quick, that's another thing that's actually fucking crazy. Can we not admit that he has some insane survivability feats as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting
spotted.
cut from the V1, getting stabbed from V2, and still not dying from loss of blood or anything, blah, blah. And still
Literally.
able to fucking fight and then eventually do the most craziest feat he does. That is ridiculous. Because technically, when you're injured, you're nerfed. You know what I mean? You're not even at full power now,
This is, this is Minato after getting, you can even argue, mortally wounded several times, and he's still able to do what he does here. So, we see here, he's willing to go toe-to-toe with Kurama with a Rasengan. And I'll give this to the skeptics. People argue that this isn't a full Biju bomb because you could see the particles coming together. That's fine, but keep this in mind. One Kurama Biju bomb, when Naruto was using KCM, rivaled 6 Biju bombs from the other 6-tailed beasts. What does that tell you? Even this Biju bomb, regardless of not being fully developed, is astronomically powerful.
It's
so
insane.
for fucking Minato to use just a small ass Rasengan and clash and compete with a Biju bomb, even not fully developed, is absolutely ridiculous. And his AP is much higher than people thought. That just clearly shows that. His AP is ridiculous.
This is a really big deal. For one, it immediately throws out all the other bullshit that now Minato doesn't even scale over V2 or V1, Kushina, blah blah. He can literally combat, move fast enough, doesn't get speed blitz, doesn't get killed, nothing. Can move fast enough while injured, technically nerfed, not at full power, with a baby ass Rasengan, okay, and literally clash it with equal force and everything. And also tank the recoil from the Rasengan, because that's another important thing. You can literally lose your arm and fucking get blown up, like we've seen with Naruto and Sasuke and shit. So we see all of that, and then on top of it, you have to have the same amount of force, otherwise you'll get launched back and killed, right? Once this all happens, there's a big ass explosion that you could see in the bottom of the panel. It's indicating an explosion's about to happen, and he also tanks that explosion. Perfectly fine in the hospital bed and only has a couple bandages. So not only is it durability feat for the recoil, the explosion, and an AP feat on top of it, this is absolutely insane. And once again, he's scaling to full 9 tails as a teenager while injured and technically nerfed and not at full power. Because when we see him as 4th Hokage, he has a whole bunch of feats against the full 9 tails, and he's reacting and blah blah, you name it, and doing all the same shit. So this is nothing new. We know Minato can scale to the 9 tails, you name it. But as a fucking teen, so that just goes to show you, when he was way older and as the 4th Hokage, he was way above the full 9 tails at that point. If it was just the 9 tails there, he would have just subdued it instantly. But he had to deal with Obito on top of it. So this is just a crazy ass fucking feat. So
yeah, literally, it just displays the true caliber of Minato, where he really scales now. That's what this is doing. Alexa, go. Thanks for coming in. Welcome back, Batman. Yeah,
appreciate it,
thanks for coming
Alexa.
in, Alexa, as well. YCA said, I don't ever want to hear Tobirama's or Minato again. Yeah, Tobirama lost to a fraction of the Nine Tails power, along with the Kinkaku and Kinkaku unit. That's what he lost to. And you see
Twice.
Minato,
With help and
is a
without help.
yeah, with help and without help.
Full power
So he
and
failed.
not at full power.
Yeah, literally. And Minato, as a fucking child, is doing this. The full fucking Nine Tails.
It's just not fair. And another thing, like Jay said, this isn't a massive Rasengan. This isn't a Sage Mode Rasengan. This isn't a Ryzen Shuriken. This is a normal size Rasengan, bro.
Yeah, literally.
A normal size Rasengan, he does this shit. And what's even more crazy with that Nine Tails Tail Beast Bomb, even though it's not like the full fucking size, because we do know Kurama can make it bigger as well. This is also still impressive because if you guys go back to the manga or the anime, Kurama spams the same size of this Biju Bomb against Hashirama, but it's like millions of them. And Hashirama like stalemates it all out with his big ass Sage Mode Wood Golem thing. Okay, so the fact that he could even take care of one of these blatantly shows that he does in ability and ninjutsu scale similar to Hashirama. It's literally the same Biju bombs that he's spamming in that fight. It's like the same size and it's a whole bunch of them. You know? So all because they're small doesn't mean they're like nowhere near as powerful or can't cause crazy AP or destruction capacity. That's not true either. You look at the Four Tails Naruto little small Biju bombs, insane fucking destruction capacity in AP. Yeah. You look at V2 Six Tails Naruto, insane fucking destruction and damage, you know?
Think about this. Fucking Four-Tail Naruto, what he did in Orochimaru with a Biju Bomb in the Four-Tail iteration, which is much weaker than this Kurama, this full Kurama. He used a Biju Bomb, blew all the gates away, nearly killed Orochimaru, made him fucking retreat, and now we see Minato as a fucking kid stalemating a partially developed full power Kurama Biju Bomb. That is fucking insane, man.
It's just insane.
And he can withstand it. I mean, he's in the fucking line of fire, withstanding the fucking force.
And another thing, if you guys don't believe the force shit too, in Boruto, and by the way, it is canon. There's plenty of statements, etc. Boruto anime and in the manga, Boruto's able to create a compression Rasengan, which is basically like a Raikiri Rasengan. It's mainly designed for more piercing AP. Okay, and it's so fucking strong that literally his arm can literally just blow off. I mean, just like what happened with Naruto and Sasuke in the end. Yeah. Okay, so whenever you're using Rasengans, yes, you do have to scale to the recoil and the force that is being put upon your arm. We even see that with Boruto as well when he's fighting against Momoshiki. You know what I mean? To where his arm gets all fucked up and everything from the damage when he's having that little clash of the Rasengan back and forth. You know, so you have to withstand that force and have a certain level of durability, and he blatantly has that because he didn't lose his arm and his body is perfectly fine. So
yeah, this displays that his durability is no joke at all.
It's not Splinter level.
Yeah, he's voluntarily getting his ass whipped by V1, V2 Kushina, and then he goes on to do this. And he's surviving all that. He just ends up in the hospital, kind of like Naruto, without Kurama in him. He has no Kurama, no Nine Tails chakra. This is just him.
And like you said, Jay, the best final example, Caesium 2 Avatar Naruto. Only half the power, and technically, with him being in sync with Kurama and you name it, that would actually be like stronger than what the half like normal one could probably do too. But regardless of that, like just only half the power, and we see all that fucking damage and power it has. You know what I mean? And then we see he can even make it bigger as well. And you have all that crap. So the fact, once again, this is full power Kurama, and with this Biju Bomb, like it's a feat, bro. You just can't deny it's a feat.
You can't deny that that's not a feat. Yeah, it's definitely a feat, and it's undeniable almost that it is a feat.
Kakazu's not tanking that.
Yeah, Kakazu would be fucking disintegrated.
If he gets hit by a Rasengan, you think he's taking a fucking Biju, not Rasengan, a Raikiri, you think he's tanking a fucking Rasengan or that Biju Bomb, bro? You're gonna really sit here and say, and the Rasengan stated to be stronger than fucking Raikiri, by the way.
Yeah, his ass is gone.
It's like, come on, bro. And then you wonder why in the data book it said Minato's Rasengan rivaled the 50% incomplete Raisen Shuriken. Because there's that too. You know, like, so literally. It's just, it all makes sense, bro. Like, his chakra control is just insane, you know?
Yeah, this paid some justice to Minato. Someone said, what about bloodlusted racism at Tobirama? Yeah, he's pretty powerful. Yeah,
he's busted. He even beats the ramen dude. So
yeah, he might even be ramen guy. It's a whole different fucking Tobirama. Team Minato over Kakuzu raw durability, literally. He's fucking
Like,
tanking this
bro,
shit,
think of
so.
that. Like, if he's doing one a normal size, mind you, he can make it massive if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, he can make it bigger, like something dry.
Just
could,
imagine,
you know...
imagine a Jonin Minato against this Kurama.
Yeah.
Like, what he would be able to do to him. He might even fucking beat a full BG
slam
bomb.
him. Yeah, he just beat his ass.
Yeah.
Like Sagemo Naruto was be able to kind of, you know, fight the half nine tails, but he was still getting beat up and struggling, you know. And even with Rising Shurikens, it couldn't really do anything. While Minato over here with just normal Rising Gons is over here giving the Nine Tails a run for his fucking money, you know.
Yeah.
Jonin would slam.
So as I won't go as far as to say he could treat the tail beasts as pets, he certainly competes with them.
Yes.
And he certainly, I mean, as much as people hate to hear it, relative to Hashirama in a certain aspect, he is relative. There's relativity now. It exists. It now exists with this new, and that's fucking Team Minato. That's not even Jonin Minato.
Jonin Minato and Fourth Hokage Minato, I'll probably say this hands down with the amount of time, training, you name it, chakra control, etc. Like, look at Obito as a prime example. Like, he would actually, I guarantee you, he could be able to beat down the Nine Tails. Just like what Hashirama.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He has to. If he could do this as a teen, there's no way he can't do that as a Jonin. Or
one-on-one. Yeah, there's no reason why Hokage Minato.
Or he could just seal it, speed blitz and seal it. You know.
Yeah, so you can simply blitz it, seal it. That's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
And as far as Hashirama versus Minato, the argument has been rejuvenated now with this manga. I mean, it exists. The debate is rampant now, and it will continue to do so. You know, based off this, Jay, where would you scale Minato and Boruto? And Boruto, Otsutsuki just they bury even Hashirama, but
like Jubito was over him.
As far as best Minato, like prime, he'll beat. Let's see, how far would he get? He'd beat Boruto himself up until he beat him for the early Boruto. He'd slam Boruto. Boruto's very green still. Once he starts to get karma and stuff like that, even then it's, I mean, those guys are
when it just gets to that crazy off the chart power, you know, cliffing and whatnot and scaling, it's not fair for a minute. Like if he had the time, he would be over them. Like look at Naruto as an example, you know. Yeah. But unfortunately, you know, he died, and so you can't get stronger when you're dead, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just this is huge discrepancy in power difference when you get from Naruto to Boruto. Within the parameters of Naruto, Team Minato is a threat to almost anybody within those parameters. Yeah. Once you get to 6th pass and above, though, I mean, even guys like Hashirama are not doing nothing. No, he's not doing nothing to fucking Jigen or Momo or Kaguya, or even Jubidara. Even Jubito. Jubito was superior to fucking Hashirama. So it's just there's a huge discrepancy in power, and Minato. This is the best we could say for him. He is in possibly the highest weight class that is not 6th pass, which is with Madara and Hashirama. That's if you wank him, if you highball him hard as you can, and you literally say, okay, he's the caliber of Hashirama straight up in a battle. Then he'd be in the highest weight class you can be besides 6th pass. Yeah. That's if you wank him. If I'm being more objective, he's probably right below that. Yeah. But he's still above others. I'd say he's above Itachi safely. I think he's above KCM 1 possibly.
You know, I just remembered. You know, I just remembered too, Jay. Now thinking about it, Minato he has to be able to compete in that level, and the main reason why is literally like remember Naruto and Base with just like a tiny bit of like Nine Tails chakra from the Nine Tails, and he's able to stalemate like fucking Madara's Rinnegan Edo Madara's like wood style shit, and that's like Base Naruto with just a little bit of Nine Tails juice. So, like, you have all that, and then you have Minato in comparison. Like, are we really going to sit here that Minato can't do similar things, you know what I mean? Or even better? Yeah. Like, come on.
I would say, safely, I could probably say this. He'd be a threat to Hashirama. Yeah, he'd be a threat. Like, if it was one-on-one,
he would still lose, I'd say that.
Yeah, he'd still lose.
But he'd be a threat.
Yeah, he'd definitely still lose. Yeah. He would definitely be a threat though. Like Hashirama wouldn't be like, oh, this guy's nothing. He'd be like, okay, this guy has something up his sleeve. I don't have to be careful. Yeah. Like this is the sort of rare era that Minato's reaching out with this manga. Of course,
and they even said it. They acknowledged him. You know, like Tobirama acknowledged him. Hiruzen acknowledged him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Even if we really want to go farther, there's even arguments that he was above Hashirama in part 1, but that was before the retcon.
Yeah, it's like a retcon shit. Yeah.
Like there, he's even stronger than Hashirama. There, Hiruzen
Fucking
says, "Oh
Hiruzen was
shit."
like, yeah, I can't have him come back.
Like if he comes out, I'm dead.
Yep.
You know, like he was scared of him, even more scared of Hashirama than he was more scared of Minato.
Literally.
Did Minato say that Kushina is stronger than him? Yeah, he did, but the interpretive possibilities vary. You could argue he's better at containing the Nine Tails than him.
Yeah.
You could argue that fully manifested Kushina is stronger than him. I don't have a problem with saying that.
Like not base Kushina. Like we're not saying that.
Yeah,
like obviously she would have to be using the Nine Tails power, you know, potentially.
Yeah, that would just be blatant intuitive dishonesty. Yeah. Like some guys are making that claim, like, oh my god, V1 Kushina with one tail is stronger than him. No.
And we know Jinchurikis are stronger because it's their power combined with the Nine Tails. So meaning if she's using full, it's nowhere near the same as Kuruma being there, you know, with all his full power, then her going into the full transformation, that would be way more stronger. So theoretically, like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like comparing KCM and Hashirama. They're comparable. Well, KCM2, I should say.
Yeah.
KCM2 Sage Mode is comparable to Hashirama. Why? Because Jinchurikis are stronger than the Tail Beast. What does Hashirama do to the Tail Beast? Fucking treats him like a pet. Is he compare? But then he compares himself to KCM2 Naruto. He compares him like, oh, this guy has chakra almost as much as I do. Like they're comparable. They're in that same league. It's the same thing with Minato here. He's not saying that fucking base Kushina will whip his ass. Like, come on, that's intuitive dishonesty. Like empirically, that's not what's illustrated at all.
And most importantly, the department that Naruto was always lacking and that Minato does not was chakra control, because that was the problem. Naruto had so much fucking chakra than anybody.
Yeah,
you know what
so
I mean?
much. Yeah.
But like the problem is, since his chakra control wasn't that great, that's why he wasn't surpassing everyone in power. While Minato, people like Minato, Kakashi, and Itachi, you know what I mean, even Hashirama and Madara, their chakra control is so fucking good to where that's why they get to such ridiculous levels and shit. You know what I mean? And Minato, that's why he even can be doing shit like this. That is a blatant chakra control feat. It's not massive. Because like if it was Naruto, he would have probably needed like a Rising Shuriken or a massive Sage Art Rasengan to do something similar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? While this fucking, he's doing it as a teen in a normal size. Like that's blatant mastery of chakra control, and that's why Minato can get to those levels. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be real, if Minato had like the same amount of chakra as Hashirama or even like his son Naruto, that motherfucker would have been probably the strongest. You know what I mean?
Jesus!
Like that's it. He has all the chakra and now chakra control. Bit like look at Kaguya as an example. You know? So,
he probably would have been the Jinchuriki himself.
Literally, you know. So
and then he'd be unstoppable. No one's stopping him at that point. So yeah. I agree, but if you give him the Nine Tails with Baryon mode, he's top 5 Boruto. Oh yeah, Baryon mode, he'd be a fucking monster.
Oh, and this is going to show that KCM2 Minato now, he's just come on.
Yeah.
I know it's half the Nine Tails too, but even with that alone would make Minato like. I'll say this. At that point, I do think now you can be able to reasonably argue that he could probably be able to beat Hashirama. Like
there's a great argument.
I mean, there's
for
a good
sure.
argument.
Yeah. Oh yeah, certainly. With KCM, I mean, I might even believe he beat. Yeah. He might even beat him now. I might even believe that now, honestly. So
sounds crazy, but with all of this, like
with this, I mean, if he's comparable as a fucking if he's comparable to fucking Hashirama as a fucking teen, I mean, with KCM, goddamn, like that's
not even him adding Sage Mode technically, if you wanted to, because I know the whole Sage Mode stuff. He's like apparently, whatever. In my opinion, I think it's more of a downplay statement because he's kind of a humble character, but regardless of all of that, like. We do know it's stated verbatim when you use the KCM2 shit, you can gather nature energy instantaneously, like super fast. Like Naruto says, it's way easier to gather it. So he has that, right? So then he can just gather it instantly, just even better. Now he's fucking Sage Mode KCM2 fucking Minato. And like at that point, like,
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amplification. So there's a great argument now that he'd fucking beat Hashirama, man. There's a great one, actually. So... Minato durability is top 5 in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Dude, after that, getting his ass whipped by V1 and V2 and still doing what he did, there's a good argument that his durability is way higher than we thought. Way higher.
Yep.
How does this Kushina compare to the stronger characters in Shippuden? I'll say this definitely scales are higher. Like fully manifested 9-tail Kushina would be a problem for a lot of people, including Team Minato himself. I think she is in quite a high weight class. If she was able to master the power,
Nine Tails is no joke, man.
Which is hypothetical. I mean, probably rival her son himself before Six Pass, obviously. She'd be quite powerful. I mean, even just like Rampage V2 Kushina beats a lot of people. Like not controlling the Nine Tails, just like being controlled by like Nine Tails taking over her will. she'd beat quite a bit of people.
Hey Jay, I got something for you. This guy said on my stream, he was like, "What's gonna happen with Kakazu if he has 5 Ususuki hearts? You know, the alien hearts inside of him. Does he beat Minato
now?" Oh my god. Oh dude, if he has 5 Otsutsuki fucking hearts, oh my god. I mean, if they have the ability of an Otsutsuki each, I mean, shit, they would be a problem. But...
Right. But better yet, I think Kakazu just dies from how much chakra it gives him.
Yeah, like, could he even contain?
Yeah, literally.
Because
look at Madara. Look at Madara. He couldn't contain Kage's chakra and shit. Yeah. He blew up.
First of all, he would never even get close. I mean, imagine him trying to steal Otsutsuki's heart.
He got bitched by Hashirama. You know what I mean? He tried to do that. And
imagine him going up to Momo. He's like, "I'm gonna take your." What the fuck? Fuck out of my face. I'm gonna fucking murder you now. That would never happen. But if theoretically he could, I mean, obviously he'd be like unstoppable.
And that's if he could contain it. I'm gonna be real. I don't even think he could contain that because Madara couldn't even contain that level of chakra. So.
Yeah, and that's just one Otsutsuki. Imagine fucking 5.
Yeah.
I doubt that. And if theoretically it could be done, obviously he'd probably beat almost everybody, but it's probably never possible. So.
Someone say Kakazu versus Ishiki would be peak. Yeah.
Oh my god. Is it like how Goku absorbed God Ki in his base form in Super Anime? Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. Like the power's kept within you regardless. You know, it's kind of like Goku. Same thing. You know, when you're in Cherokee, you're amped regardless. Like even base Prime Naruto, not with KCM, he's being amped by Kurama regardless, even if he's not KCM. His durability is still insane. His tangible aspects go up because him and Kurama are working in sync now. Like there's synergy between the two at all times. So yeah, the Minato respects brings me joy.
Hey, that's another thing, Jay. This also further established the notion and explains why Kurama was always so like kind of intimidated or afraid of Minato, because whenever we saw Minato being shown to Kurama, he would always be like, "Oh shit!" Like, you know what I mean? Like, "Oh, it's him!" Like fourth Hokage. Like,
and even like empirically, there's only a handful of guys, even less than that he looked at that in that esteem. Yeah. Minato, Madara, Hashirama. Those are the only guys he ever was like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
these guys are here."
Because they're the only ones that can like subdue him and beat him down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like these are the only guys that made him shit himself as a tail beast. He's like, "Oh shit, these guys are fucking. This guy's here."
Like even in part 1 Naruto, the Kurama's talking shit to Naruto while like he had his neck fucking snapped from Sasuke, and he's like, "You better be fucking grateful that the 4th Hokage sealed me in a brat like you." You know what I mean? Yada yada. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like he was always just talking in such a demeanor of like, you know, fuck Minato because he could just do whatever he wanted to me. You know?
Yeah. Like there's these guys and like there's these guys that are in such high caliber that the Nine Tails has to like kind of kneel to them. Like Minato, Madara,
and he hates that
like,
shit. He hates that.
He hates that.
He hated that with Madara. Yeah.
Like that's why that was a big reason why he helped Naruto the first time. He's like, fuck Madara, let's do it. Like he went to shit on Madara. So yeah, those are the only guys he ever talks about like that. Those 3. So that just further reinforces the premise that he's on that caliber, possibly.
He does it in the Pain arc when he reunites with Naruto, and he does it in part 1 Naruto, and I think there's other points he does it in Shippuden too. I just don't remember. So
yeah, exactly. And then with Madara and Hashirama, he's like, oh shit, these guys are here too. Yeah. So does Minato beat adult Sasuke? I mean Naruto. Not Prime, obviously, but current nerf Naruto. It's hard to even scale the guy because he doesn't do anything.
They just keep getting shitted on.
Yeah, and the guys he's being saved from are way beyond Minato. We're talking about fucking Otsutsuki level threats, so it's still hard to gauge where Naruto's at.
Like if he starts getting like some good feats and stuff, you know, whatever, something, then we'll probably still say nah, he still slams Minato. Yeah. But who knows?
Kishimoto to make that reality, he'd have to have Minato fucking slamming Momo or something like something crazy like that would have to happen.
Well, they do like a fucking time travel arc bullshit again.
Yeah, like time travel or Minato's helping Naruto face Momo or Ishiki or something, maybe then. But besides that, it's almost impossible to get him there. So. And
obviously, with Minato would make more sense, like unlike that fucking Jiraiya crazy bullshit.
Oh, dude, god damn! Thank God that's not fucking canon. Fuck that shit. Fucking horseshit where you're fucking Jiraiya helping against.
You tell me you get that mentally amped, bro? There's no shot.
Yeah, like he's that mentally amped. Then why'd you lose the pain? The fuck?
Literally
lost the pain. In stage mode, fucking lost, and he's beating fucking Urashiki. Come on.
Oh, and One Tail Naruto could be a threat to him too.
Yeah, and One Tail Naruto.
Kid Naruto.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's fucking insane.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, that's definitely not canon at all. Counter argument: bloodlusted racism. Amp Toriyama. Yeah, that's a good counter argument for sure. Minato still slams Toriyama. Oh yeah, we know that for sure. My White Mask Obito over Edo Madara agenda is slowly coming to fruition. Yeah, there's a better argument now after what the shit we've seen
Yeah.
with Minato
You
scaling
see
like
what
this as a team.
14-year-old Minato Obito does with that minute, like the fact that his whole body
Yeah.
didn't explode and he lost an arm.
Oh,
That is
dude.
also a durability feat,
That just speaks testament to his
or
durability,
survivability
man.
feat technically, but because he
Yeah,
did lose an arm.
survivability.
But,
Like he didn't
yeah.
get blown to fucking hell by a Rasengan.
Well, actually, no,
And we
my
saw
bad.
those.
It's a durability feat too, actually. Yeah, because he survives, because he survives from losing an arm, and his whole body was still intact. So that is technically a durability feat. The force and the recoil and everything. Yeah.
Didn't the Ninetales have that attitude with Kushina as well? Not to that regard. I mean, he doesn't like Kushina because it's the same attitude he had with Naruto. Like he's inside them.
And guys, we're not capping on that because even Swag Kage also tweeted something I saw recently where he says, "Yep, that means upskilling for Obito as well." To where basically Obito, what's it called? That would connect the dots, upscale him in a sense to where if he's doing that shit as 14-year-old and we see all this shit Minato's doing as a teen. And we see that and that Obito, which basically is teen Obito, you know what I mean, in a sense, technically. But,
literally, yeah.
What's it called? So, like, overall, that just goes to show you that now Obito is also getting to similar calibers, and better yet, he does the same shit in ability-wise. He also fucking immediately restrains the full power Ninetales, like what Madara did and what Hashirama can do. So it all connects. It all makes sense.
Yeah,
you know, like
it all makes sense.
So
yeah, and he even had Korma tricked with him being Madara. He's like, yeah, this guy's Madara. Let's fucking let's take him out. So
like I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of looking bad now for Pain and Itachi. Like we're talking about Obito because it's like you know at a certain point it was always to like where you can kind of like make it contentious to where they can be either similar ballparks or maybe the other can be slightly over whatever. But like it's interesting, you know what I mean? Because like it's really interesting. The only thing that is weird though is why like so I think now when Obito made that statement in his head that if Itachi knew everything he'd be dead. I think what he means is if he had prep time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because, that's what I said too.
Yeah, it would have to probably be prep time then because we don't really have a lot for Nagato and Itachi to be on this level of caliber like Hashirama and Madara. We don't have anything like that, you know. So
yeah, we don't. That's insane.
But Obito and Minato are there. So and that's you know, and then you have Orange Mask. That means he's stronger, right? Then you have the White Mask, even more stronger. You know, like so. Just saying, bro.
it even makes more sense narratively the way it's illustrated, where it's Madara and Obito on top of the Ten Tails, like kind of parallel to each other, implying like relativity. It makes sense now.
It makes sense now.
Like people already had that sort of intuition, like, oh, these guys relative. Now it makes a lot of sense. Like, okay, if Minato is a teen's fucking near Hashirama, I mean, White Mask Obito, that makes sense.
And it all like technically connects because at first all that was contentious in a way. You can kind of go back and forth, whatever. But now with all this coming out, now it's starting to make sense. When Obito is doing the same fire style, like just as big as Madara. When Obito is doing similar, reaction feats, you name it, like controlling the Ten Tails together, all this other crap, like. Obito can also control the and be fucking the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. And just like Madara, like so, it all is just making sense. It's all clicking and coming together.
Yeah.
So
exactly, it makes much more sense now when you look in hindsight at the narrative.
Yeah.
A lot of things are starting to click now. So, yeah, it's gonna upskill some people. It's gonna downscale some others.
Yep.
Like Tobirama, unfortunately. But yeah, it is what it is. So, Team Minato versus Valley of the End Madara. Team Minato would have a shot. Do I think he beat someone of the caliber of Madara as a teen? I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that. I think he'd be a threat to some arbitrary extent.
Yeah.
But Madara has, Genjutsu. He has a Susanoo. He can systematically take over the Ninetales at a whim.
Yep.
I'd probably still say Madara, but it wouldn't be a walk in the park for him.
No, it'd be difficult.
Yeah. He'd be like, okay, this kid's talented.
I do think Minato would need KCM to be able to pull the W. It'd be a high div.
Yeah. You get someone like Madara's caliber or Hashirama, Sage Mode. Yeah.
Yeah, he would need either like Sage Mode or KCM to start to have any like he'd still put up a good fight in base as fourth Hokage, but I think he'd need more. So
yeah, isn't Orange Mask stronger than Yellow Mask? Because we don't know. Yeah, he is stronger.
Yeah,
he was training. Yeah, that's true. Is Naruto the strongest Hokage in the world of all time? Yeah, I mean in his prime, yeah, he's by far the strongest. Not even close, actually.
Yeah, there's no reason for Obito to be weaker. The only thing that happened is he lost a Zetsu arm for the millionth time, and then also had a flying Raijin mark. That doesn't nerf you. There's nothing in the data books or anywhere stated that flying Raijin marks nerf you either.
Yeah, so there's like this really weird narrative that he got nerfed. Like where? I don't understand that. Why would he be nerfed? He's older, wiser. Yeah, he got hit by Rasengan, but the Zetsu is known for its regenerative capabilities. Why wouldn't he just heal from that? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dishonest, to be honest. If Minato and Sasuke ever had a Rasengan Chidori clash, Sasuke's turning into paste. Oh yeah, like a kid. Imagine kid Sasuke against fucking Team Minato, get fucking slammed.
Yeah, none of them are fucking with Team Minato. None of them. If Sasuke is stalemating with like going with full killing intent and stalemating with a holding back Naruto with a rising on that's already stronger, we've seen the example between the two, and Jiraiya states it verbatim. And Kakashi says Naruto would have killed him if they actually exchanged the clash there on the rooftop. What's it called? With all that information, if he's struggling with that shit, okay, what do you think? Like, what's happening with Minato, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's like, yeah, so Minato definitely scales higher now. The only arguments I'd seen that they try to combat this is he's not in the real world. He's in like in the subconscious space, but it's kind of implied when Naruto does the same thing when he tames a Naruto. It's kind of like he's taken over. Like stage mode is what he needed to surpass Kurama. It's kind of like the same thing being sort of illustrated here with Minato. So to say that Minato is like far weaker in real life, I think it's intuitively dishonest. So I would say
you can't even prove that. It's a baseless claim.
Yeah, and prove that because in the narrative of Naruto, it just shows like in the real world and in the sort of like spiritual realm with Kurama, he surpassed Kurama, and that's why he's able to learn KCM. So he tames him, and then in the real world he tames him and uses KCM. So I think that kind of illustrates that it's a physical thing too. So to claim that it's just in your mind and you're fucking weak as fuck in the real world, it's first of all you have to prove that, which really isn't provable. And the conclusion that we're making is definitely the more probable one. So I'd say that. If Hashirama can't use his giant wood golem with 1,000 hands of the Nine Tails, then Minato's beating him in a fight. Yeah, without the wooden golem, if he's not able to use any like giant wood structures, Sage Mode Hashirama would be a problem. I mean, his regenerative capabilities are ridiculous. He doesn't even need hand signs. He heals without even using hand signs. But I wonder how a Rasengan would affect him. If it's even relative to a Kurama Biju Bomb. If it hits him directly, it might hurt him pretty bad. Without any wood jutsu protecting him. So that would be interesting to see. I think it would hurt him quite a bit, maybe even kill him.
Especially if he's doing a massive rising on. Like, let's say you don't think a normal one could cut it, but if he's doing a massive, which he can do without Sage Mode, or if he puts Sage Mode on top of it, things like that, like, it could probably do some fucking damage to him. And even if that for some reason couldn't, you can't have any protection against ceiling. So if he gets hit by that, that's GG. He's fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's fucked. Oh yeah, ceiling for sure. Yeah, he'd be fucked. So he's not even known for that. So, but yeah, folks, feel free to keep asking questions about this. I'm gonna tell Shinobi that we're basically done with the spoilers. We're probably gonna answer questions about it. We're not doing like reading the manga anymore. Really, that was basically all the pages that we thought were important to look at.
Yeah. There was only like another one that like is technically cool in a way. To where it shows that like Minato, Jiraiya, and these other ninja, like they're clearly fatigued, like because they've been fighting a war or whatever.
Oh,
and there's and there is the 3 tails and 4 tails there, Jinjuriki, and they like transformed while like standing there too. Like they were able to use their tail beast while standing there, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
And they like shot a Biju bomb, and Minato was able to react while as a teen at that point in time, and like saves all of them, Jiraiya included. Jiraiya doesn't save him. Jiraiya asks Minato to save. He's like, Minato, get us out of here. And he does Flying Raijin and saves him and reacts to 2 full transformation Biju, which that just further proves that, like, there you go. They're comparable.
Yeah, even at that point. Yeah, even at that point, his reaction time's already, I would say, significantly superior to Sani already.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fucking able to do that, against Biju bombs. Like, they look like perfect Jinchuriki's damn near, and he's reacting to them.
Yeah.
As a fucking teen.
So and you have that, and he's over here backpacking and taking care of his own fucking sensei, a legendary Sonic, basically.
Yeah, he's the one taking care of his sensei. When do you ever see fucking Naruto do that until obviously later on. He never does
And
that.
those
It's
two tail
Jiraiya.
beasts, yeah, those two tail beasts. Remember, they were combating against fucking Eight Tails, Killer B as a perfect Jinjuriki in full transformation, and
Yeah,
combating against KCM Tunard. Now they did get bullied by KCM Tunard, but they could still be like
yeah,
some form of relativity. But they were getting their ass washed. You know what I mean?
yeah. Perfect Jinchurikis in
So
general, yeah, that they're extremely powerful, and only like Akatsuki's can rival that kind of power. So
yeah.
if he's already above that sort of realm as a teen, it just further reinforces like his superiority in the
Yeah.
Shinobi world, even as a teenager.
And
Like even Jiraiya's
those,
like, all right,
yeah,
yeah, even Jiraiya's like, all right, let's get us out of here, man. Like he's a teenager under
yeah.
his authority, so
And those
it's
full
insane.
transformations arguably could also would be stronger than like a V2 like Kushina whatever. Arguably, we don't know for sure.
Arguably, yeah,
Maybe the Nine Tails
yeah,
is still way stronger because of how much fucking chakra it has. It's just busted.
yeah, for sure.
But
And even then, he had success against her, so yeah,
yeah,
for
so
sure.
you have all that. So like, no matter what, you connect all that. That's why once again, to sit here and make like crazy dishonest claims that like Minato is weaker than V1 Kushina now or V2, like that doesn't make any sense. Like he has a feat fighting the full transformation Nine Tails. You know what I mean? All that, and
Yeah,
then two other tail beasts, arguably like looking like they're perfect Jinjuriki, and he can deal with all that. And that at that time he didn't use a Rising On or anything because he didn't know Rising On yet. That's what gave him the idea to make the Rising On. So
yeah, exactly. So Minato's already in that realm, that young.
you're flying
I
Raijin
mean,
as a teen, bro.
yeah, he's fucking that broken. Beyond Sannin level, he's probably probably the most capable in the Leaf already, besides arguably like Hiruzen, and he's the man already. I mean, he's certainly gotten the respect he deserves. So, it was Four Tails and Five Tails, Roshi and Han. Oh, that's right. I think you're right about that. Does this upscale Killer B since he reacted to Minato? What do you think of B versus Pain? As far as him reacting to Minato, it's important to analyze the context of the altercation. So he uses his reaction time to react to the fastest speed that the Raikage possesses, which is beyond the speed of light. Killer B goes out to say that the Raikage is even faster than him. We kind of see that when he's testing Naruto's speed, and Killer B's like, "Oh shit, he's too fast." Um, so I don't think Killer B is relative in speed to Minato. Utilizing the maximum speed reaction time he possesses. Um, but as far as him versus Killer B versus Pain, would it change things? Would this change things for that? Well,
Basically, he was more like holding back. Like he's not like bloodlusted and trying to actually kill them.
yeah,
You know what I
he
mean?
casually reacted
So,
to
so
to the
we just
Raikage.
don't know necessarily if that even is a feat for them either, like or a feat for Killer B. We don't. And no matter what, like Raikage is stated to be way faster than Killer B, and he even said like no one's ever dodged his punch or anything. Minato was the only one to do
Yeah,
that, and Killer
yeah,
B has
exactly.
access to all of it, to V1, V2, and full transformation at that point in time. He struggles. He wasn't nowhere near as good as he was in Shippuden, but he could still use like the partial transformation. He actually does that to react to help with the Raikage before he gets sliced. You know what I mean? And like that's a reaction feat towards like Minato coming down to like slice. But no matter what, it's really hard to gauge any scaling there because there is context. He's not trying to kill him. The data books kind of explains it. They also fight several times. He says he likes both of them. He's even trying to teach A what's most important as a ninja. Like he's dead ass
Yeah,
roasting his shit and saying, "Hey, if you don't realize what's the most important to him and blah blah, you're gonna lose him or yada yada yada." Like he's talking with them and everything, and then he
yeah,
deals
exactly.
with them, and then just like I'm leaving, and then they retreat. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of it's illustrated in a way where he's kind of like having a casual altercation with them. He's
yeah.
not like bloodlusted or the way he was against Obito. He's like, oh,
So
all right,
holding back
let's see what you guys
Minato,
can do.
sure, but
Yeah, he's kind of like, all right, let's see what this guy could do. He's kind of literally see him like staring at the Raikage coming on. He's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna get out of the way now. Like
yeah.
he's not like sweating, like oh shit, like he's not
It's nowhere near
bloodlusted
the
or
same
desperate.
atmosphere as him fighting against Obito. That's all I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
there's no sense of desperation for him
No,
at all. So as far as B versus Pain, I still think
I think
Pain
Pain to
Killer B
yeah,
struggles.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because look at
he struggles
Nagato to
with
be like what happened in the war. I'm sorry.
yeah him against
You know?
KCM, and then Killer B struggles with Kisame.
Yeah, like that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like he
but
got beat up by Kasame, bro. Like,
Yeah,
come
so
on.
yeah, Pain probably takes that.
Yeah, Pain still.
Imagine the scene where, imagine the scene where Kakashi and Guy were about to get blasted by BG bombs, but instead of Naruto saving them, Team Minato comes from out of nowhere.
If you wanted to rat though, you could upscale B if you wanted to rat, but
you could rat for sure. Yeah, I don't know if Team Minato kicks away BG bombs with just his foot, like KCM Naruto, but yeah, he's a monster though.
No, he would need rising on to do that shit. You know what I mean? Or he would use chakra to increase his durability, and he could tank it because he does it with full power 9.
Yeah, I don't know if you kick him away like soccer balls, Naruto, but yeah, probably not.
He needs hard density chakra cloak like the KCM to do that.
Yeah, that's what they would do it.
Or Sage mode. Sage mode might actually be able to do it because he technically take the Jubei Madara kick, you know, and he didn't get split in half. He just like eats a kick from Jubei Madara, but
yeah, there's certainly way more premises for Minato's favor now to be made. So,
yeah.
How strong do you guys think Minato is in the academy? Oh man, he's a prodigy. We know that.
Look what he does as a team. You know, probably already a tuning or joning at that point.
Yeah, he's probably like an Itachi figure.
Yeah,
he's just so far above the rest in the academy that he's just. Jiraiya and Hiruzen probably saw this kid. They're like, holy shit. This guy's a fucking...
They said his entire life as well with the statements they have narratively that he's always been a genius prodigy from like the moment he was young.
He's always been looked at as like this jaw-droppingly talented kid, kind of like Itachi was. Yeah. Everyone's like, holy shit.
It's reinforced in Boruto too. So
yeah. So he's basically like Itachi was.
Like the man is still talked about in Boruto, bro.
Well, then to find the astral plane, why are people hyping it so hard? Well, prove that the astral plane... Prove that they're weaker in the real world than they are on the astral plane. There's nothing to suggest
nothing to imply that or anything.
That's why it's hyped so hard. Because there's no other contradictory evidence to suggest otherwise.
Nope.
What's going on, Luis? Thanks for coming in.
And like better yet, like once again, why would Kurama be lying? Like, then don't you think Kurama would have been like, oh, like he's only able to do this or be on a level of Hashirama because, you know, we're in the astral or whatever. There's nothing to suggest that
that's a good point. Because to our knowledge, we've never seen Hashirama in the astral plane. He did that shit in real life, and he compared Minato to Hashirama. So
literally, like you have that, so that just says the opposite possibility-wise. There is nothing to suggest that somehow, some way can change shit.
Yeah, you would need a proof by contradiction. So there is none to my. I tried to police test, but they say no.
Yo.
Pretty much done with the manga. We looked over the main aspects. So.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry about the death to yours, but I'm sure it was enlightening to say the least, you know, or informative.
When you read it, you'll see like there's some eye-opening stuff in there. Kishimoto gives us Minato fans too much ammo. Yeah, pretty much. Guru and I are training for a 10K run for September. Hey man, that's good. Can you drop the link to the Discord? Oh yeah, it's in the description. It's the.
Oh yeah, Luis.
It's not in here.
Damn.
My bad. You're right. Let me put it in there real quick.
Hey, Lanes, you're not wrong, bro. Like Minato would really just make shadow clones and do a rising on for each tail beast bomb.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a second, folks, while I put the Discord. I didn't even realize that shit wasn't in here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he